Okay team, we are in Torino. We're 2 days out from the start of the North Cape 4000. The purpose of this film is to talk through the kit that I have packed for the race. Clearly this isn't exclusive just to the North Cape 4000 and could be applied to any ultra endurance cycling race. Now, I'm not going to zoom in on what brand and model every specific bit of kit is. Ultimately, this is a personal choice based on preference, fit, weight and so on. But I will put a full list of everything that's here in the description. Okay, so the setup consists of 3 different bags: the handlebar bag, the frame bag and the rear rack bag. I haven't gone for a top tube bag like a lot of people do, because it just made the whole thing feel very cluttered and I didn't like it. Equally, I haven't gone for a full frame bag like a lot of other people do, because it just felt like more unnecessary space to fill with unnecessary stuff that I didn't need for the trip. Okay, let's get the table out and we'll look at the contents of each individual bag. Okay, first up, the rear rack bag. The first thing to note about all of the kit in the rear rack bag is that even though the rear rack bag itself is a dry bag, all of the kit inside it also is in its own dry casing. This is important kit that I don't want to get wet, so I'm going to make doubly sure that regardless of what the weather throws at me, this will stay dry. Come and have a closer look. This is all the contents of the rear rack bag. We'll go through them one at a time. Over on this side is the sleeping kit. So we've got a small, lightweight, packable, but crucially still weatherproof one-man tent with its pole and its pegs. We've got an inflatable sleeping mat. Now that's for comfort and for insulation, and an inflatable pillow. On a trip like this, sleep is really going to be crucial to how I perform throughout the entire race. So something as simple as a small pillow could make all the difference. And I have a down sleeping bag. In this corner we have the cooking kit, small tin of gas, small lightweight stove, a titanium cup that will also operate as the pot for the stove, 2 lighters, both of which have some of my emergency duct tape wrapped around them, and a small penknife. Moving on to my clothing system then, I've got a synthetic warm layer. Now it's important that this is synthetic because it's very feasible I can end up wearing it in the rain. If you wear a down jacket, even in one torrential downpour, you will wreck it for the rest of your trip and it will not keep you warm. A synthetic jacket, whereas I would debate that it doesn't necessarily keep you warm when it's wet, it's easy to recover from being wet. It will dry out and it'll be fine the next day. So a synthetic jacket is my choice for that. Spare pair of bib shorts, spare jersey and a windproof vest. Moving on to the food, there's 2 different types of food in the rear rack bag. Here we've got 3 dehydrated meals. Now for the first half of the trip, these will arguably just be emergency rations. If I struggle to find something to eat for an evening meal, I can still stop with confidence knowing that I've got something hot to eat. Each of these are 1,000 calories. This is a bag of vitamin powder and this is 2 bags of electrolyte powder. Vitamin powder because I think why not, to keep my immune system bumped throughout the trip, and I think electrolyte hydration powder will be crucial to staying hydrated throughout the trip. None of this is enough to last the whole trip, but it's enough to make a sensible and good start until I get further up the road. So that's it for the rear rack bag. Now we're going to have a look at the handlebar bag. We'll go through it a piece at a time. Waterproof jacket, waterproof trousers and shoe covers encompass my wet weather gear. I've deliberately not gone for flimsy, lightweight cycling waterproofs because I don't think they'd last the 3 weeks and they don't stick really bad weather. I've brought a set of lightweight but sturdy mountaineering waterproofs that I know will stick any weather that there is, but are also going to last the trip. That's the bag itself, and this is my electronics. This is my drone for video footage, 1 power bank, assorted charging leads, my head torch and a plug adapter. We have 2 spare inner tubes here, and then we have my toiletries and a towel. These are in the front bag so they're accessible if I find an opportunity during the day to get a shower, go for a swim. And then I have my first aid kit. The first aid kit is deliberately designed for any problems that I might come across myself throughout the trip, but also to allow me to deal with any bad incidents that I come across. Ultimately, that's most likely to be a car crash, so there's some trauma kit there in case I come across an accident. This is perhaps overkill, and a lot of people won't carry kit like this. But personally, I'm not sure I'd forgive myself if I came across a serious car crash on the road and wasn't able to help the people involved. Okay, that's the handlebar bag. Now we'll take a look at the frame bag. So the frame bag largely consists of bits of kit I think I might need in a hurry or in a stress, or bits of kit that I think I'll need on and off throughout the day. So going through it, here we have small lightweight thin bike locks and a padlock to go with them, spare spokes for my wheels and cable ties. I've got 2 spare inner tubes and a good hefty pump. A lot of people put the pumps on their bike frame, but I just think that's inviting the pump to get broken throughout the trip. I've got a spork for eating during the day, and I've got my leg warmers, arm warmers and a buff, which I envision will go on in the morning, off in the afternoon and potentially back on in the evening. The other thing that will be in the frame bag throughout the day will be all the snacks that I intend to eat during the day, and I'll keep refilling that as I go. Okay, that's it. Or most of it anyway. Clearly I haven't ran through the clothing I'm going to be wearing on the ride itself or the toolkit that I've got on the bike, but that's all pretty standard stuff. Hopefully that's given you an insight into the kit that we take on an ultra endurance bike race. But if you've got any comments or questions, please stick it in the comments and we can have a good chat about it then. Thanks again, and I'll see you out there.